Suddenly he looked at her and saw her lying on the floor. He ran towards her and picked her up. He was so white and ran inside. She opened her eyes and saw the doctor beside her. The doctor smiled. And how are you feeling now? My head hurts. Okay, I write a few medicines for you, so take them. But you know I have good news for you. Was it it? Is it? You are pregnant. One gasped. What happened? Are you not happy? I'm happy, but what? Don't tell him. I will tell him by myself. Oh, you want to give him a surprise? I will not ruin your surprise. Vine smiled. Now it's time to go. Bye, Vine. Bye. She sat down while holding her head, and he entered. What did she say? No. His smile dropped. He turned angrily. She again lay down and started crying. Abby was attached to her, and she was staring at her, but fingers were burning. He's doing this because I hurt him so much in the past. He didn't love me anymore. This is my mistake. I shouldn't have done so much worse with him. The next day, Amir was standing beside her, placing the breakfast in front of her. Mom was looking at her. Do you know where is he? He is in the room with his friend. With which friend? He is his best friend. His name is King. A frog dropped from her hand. King is still his friend. She thanked the maid and started eating without thinking about it. While on the other hand, so where is she? She's taking a rest. Tell me about your life. How can you handle her? She was not hard to handle. Ella was a sweet and innocent girl, not like your wife. She is not behaving like an immature girl. She does everything but I hurt her. I never hurt her. Jungkook smiled. Nice for you. But how can you handle Ryan? Of course it's not hard because she changed so much. I made her realize that she can't do anything wrong. But she still posted your video. She denies it. Sir Chimuzi, she tried to destroy your reputation. I ordered my guards to bring him here. Boss, we bring him here, the man who posted your video. It's time to make my heart happy. King smiled and they both walked out. His guard opened the door for him and he entered with King and Sava and his old friend tied on the chair. He walked towards him and sat in front of him. Tell me one thing, how can you post it through her phone? Sarvan, I will not tell you, can't do anything against me. My dad is so powerful. Your dad is powerful but no more than me. I will still beat you. I will not tell you, he shouted. What do you do this to Ian? You know that she is my wife. Did you want me to hurt her? You didn't say anything. I think so. He wanted to beat her. Of course, he is not her friend. Vian was laying by looking outside. She was thinking she didn't share that video. Then who did that? Who tried to destroy her? Her mind was full of questions, but suddenly she heard the cars. She looked at the window, saw King and Jung were going somewhere. She saw claws. They were dragging her, but which were covered in blood. They threw him in the car. They drove up and she lay down. He didn't even come to see me. I'm that much useless for him. Her tears started falling. At night, she was sitting on the bed, but he came and sat down in front of her. She looked at him as well, placing the dinner in front of her. She didn't say anything. He grabbed the spoon and started feeding her. She was happy. He was doing this because he was guilty. Because of a misunderstanding he did wrong with her. His heart was torn. Janku, are you still mad at me? No, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. It's okay. She kissed his cheek and his cheeks turned red. But he acted cool. I told you that. I didn't share that video. First, you didn't believe me, but I forgive you because you are my husband. But how can you forget that you are the one who recorded that video? Her smile dropped. I'm sorry, he had a sign. You are feeling sorry because I'm not your husband and you can do everything with you. If I were the same, you would still do that to me. She stayed quiet. I regret doing that. I regret bullying people. I say sorry to everyone. He jumped. Just finish this because I can't bear. Where are you going? To my room. Good night. After saying this, he walked out. She covered her head and started crying. She really regretted it and wanted to hug me. She wiped her tears and put the food on the table and started staring out in the middle of the night. She opened the door of his room and entered inside and saw him sleeping peacefully. She walked towards him and laid down beside him while hugging him from behind. She sniffed his scent and closed her eyes. He didn't know that she was sleeping beside him. In the morning, he opened his eyes and felt something heavy in his chest as he was still in sleep. He rubbed his eyes and touched her hair. He opened his eyes widely and saw her sleeping while putting her head on his chest. He looked all the room and then to her because he thought that he was dreaming, but he realized she came to his room last night. He closed his eyes, but his cell phone started ringing. His friend asked, where is he? Of course, at my house. Come here because we need it. That's a huge man. We can't solve it. Who's on the call? Jungkook whispered, my girlfriend. She sat down. What? Is she really your girlfriend? Are you cheating on me? Her voice cracked. He got the car and looked at her. I never saw someone dumb as you. She is my friend. I was joking, but what are you doing here? I was feeling so lonely and I decided to come here. He licked his lip and went inside the washroom. She sat down. They were looking at his cell phone. She got up and grabbed his phone and started checking it. What were you doing? He snagged his cell phone. I was just checking. He walked towards her. And don't touch it again, he angrily said, and she nodded while lowering her. At night, Ryan was sitting on the couch while waiting for him. After an hour later, he entered with Gianna. Ryan got up and looked at him. Everyone greeted her like she was the wife of him. Ryan just wanted to wait her. She controlled herself. He looked at her. Why are you still sick? So you go back to your room? No, I'm okay here. He looked at her and she nodded after seeing his scary eyes. She got up and started walking towards the room. I don't like her intentions. She wanted to become his girlfriend. I saw in her eyes. She loved him. She wanted to snatch my husband. I will not let her do that. I will destroy her. She didn't sleep that night because of him. The next morning, he was sleeping peacefully because she had completed his work last night. Gianna was just his fastest partner while staring at him. But she got up and walked out. She entered his room and walked towards the table. She looked at the files and there she saw the files. Gianna's name was written on them. She grabbed those files and destroyed them. They were looking good from outside, but from inside she ruined them. She smiled and placed them on their spot. Now you can't steal my husband. She smiled and walked out. At night, Willa bring me those files. She nodded and Wand was sitting beside him while sipping the tea. He looked at her. Are you okay? She nodded heavily. He didn't say anything, but in the heart he was funny. Mila was keen like him and handed him the files. He put them in the bag and walked out. In the company, there were so many businessmen sitting there and he was giving their best for win the best and biggest company and King was getting with Jungkook night was his turn. Are you ready? He nodded and got up and took those five, but when he opened them his heart sank because everything was doing. He was staring at him. Jungkook, are you okay? I don't have anything to say. Gianna got up weirdly and said, what are you saying? So he walked towards him and saw the files. She looked at King weirdly. They got insulted because if this work company became the vicious and because of when he and his friend got insulted, he was so angry and wanted to kill that person. They entered the room and he angrily hit the table. Jungkook, this is, I think it's one of your mates. I want to cry. We worked so hard. He sat down on the chair and opened the recording of the camera. Did she still hate you? She said after seeing his wife doing this. Jungkook, she wife? She still want to destroy you. Can she do this to her husband? Jack was sitting silently and had no words to say. Klaus and Gianna were so King and Gianna were so angry because it was their heart. But Gianna never saw Jungkook more than friends. They both were business partners. In the middle of the night, she was waiting for him while looking at his childhood photo happily, but suddenly he entered. She put the frame in his plates and welcomed home, but he came near and slapped her. She fell down and tears started falling. You didn't change. You are still the same. You still wanted to destroy me. You don't deserve my kindness. Why did you roll those files? Because he wants your friend to win. He angrily shouted at her. I thought those were Joanna's. So you did it because you thought those were us. But why? Because I thought she wanted you. He got silent. But I thought that she wanted to snag you. Oh, now you were feeling jealous. But why? I'm still that way whom you bullied and hated. I'm still that way whom you used to get close to King. And you were saying these words to show me that you love me. If you love me that much, then let's go. Where are you going? No. Then she realized. Don't touch me, she said because of. And this was the first time she denied his touch. He controlled his anger and walked out, leaving her alone. Say sorry to me. I will not forgive you. He sat down in the corridor before she touched his cheek and started crying. You know that it was his. The next day, he didn't come back and she was sitting here while looking at the door. She was alone in the big mansion. While on the other hand, he was sitting here while looking at the window silently. But where is tension at that time? Did she really love me or it was just a lie? Did she want to manipulate me because she knew that I love her? He looked at his friends and felt bad because he didn't want to slap her, but he did. King entered, love me and wants to leave me, help me. But she was lying, she didn't love you, Jungkook. She is the biggest liar. I remember she lied to you when she wanted to become your friend. But in reality, she was behind someone. She didn't love you, she wanted to manipulate you so that she could learn. Don't forget her intentions. 1 week later, she was sitting here while we're still waiting for him. It has been 1 week since he came. She wanted to apologize to him. She wiped her tears. He thought that I hated him, but I don't hate him, she sobbed. The next morning, she opened her eyes after seeing him sitting on his knees. After, while caressing her cheeks, she was sitting on the floor. She looked at him and why are you sitting here? I was waiting for these next words out. I'm sorry for that day. You can slap me if you want to. No, I'm sorry. Really? She nodded. He picked her up and made her sit down on the mat. Sit, sleep here, and then he lay down beside her. 1 week later. He stopped hurting her, so he also stopped talking too much with her. He just got silent, sometimes touched his heart. And he realized that he couldn't say leave her, so he chose to stay silent. She was always with him, even in his office. She stayed at his work, and today she threw the party at his house. No one was waiting for his dress. This is our unique dress because this dress is also my diamonds. His dress was color was blue and it was shining because of small diamonds. Very small diamonds. She walked towards it and dressed touched it. That long dress was made of flat and diamonds. Her husband gave us the order to make unique dress and also gave us the design which it you. All the guests started coming. Jungkook was there for them. Ella King entered and he happily met them. Ella was Jungkook's friend and she helped him to get married by him. She just knew that he might love her. King and Ella happily walked towards the other guests. He opened the door and started sitting on the chair while looking at the mirror. She was looking so beautifully at him and she got off. He blinked at few times because of her beauty. Am I looking good? He nodded and walked towards her. When she came out, she was surprised after seeing her sister with King. She walked towards her. Ella, what are you doing here? Where is your husband? He's my husband. You married to him. She excitedly asked, and I miss you so much, her parents, and she also hugged them. She looked at him and smiled, and then they all got busy while talking to each other. Suddenly, the lights changed, and Jungkook grabbed her and walked towards her. Then suddenly they started dancing, and in her dress was shiny. Nobody could see them because there was a huge curtain came in front of them. The light was on them. Suddenly, the king shouted, Jungkook, what are you doing behind the curtain? He smiled. Find us, he said, and they all started game. I looked at them, they both stopped dancing, and he announced something. He was talking about his business to all businessmen. Suddenly, I looked at the cat on the stairs. He was giving speech, but she got up and walked towards the canopy where the cat ran to the second floor. She ran behind her, and suddenly they heard gunshots. Someone attacked to the mansion. She was on the third floor. She didn't hear running gunshots because she was playing with cat. Everyone hid in the secret place, but Jungkook was searching for a while, yelling her name. There was a huge difference between the first floor and second. The third floor was soundproof. Soundproof. That's why she didn't hear the. He was searching for King Game. Jungkook, let's go. Leave her, just come with me. Are you crazy? She is my wife. I can't leave her like this. He started running towards the room. King clenched his fist because he hated her. He also ran behind him. He came to their room and checked everything, but she was not there. There and out and decided to check the whole room, but she was out on the second floor and then he ran towards the third floor. He came to the third floor and saw her sitting on her knees beside the cat. She looked at him. Janko, what time he acted after seeing the worry on her face. He grabbed her and ran, but at that time his enemy entered the mansion and destroyed everything. King was checking the rooms on the second floor, but he got locked in one of them. Where are you going? Don't go. I will not come back after. I will come back after checking everything. She was stopping, but he saw a few men. He pushed her inside the secret room and locked, locked. And those men. The next day. Let her out. The gardener and opened the secret room door. She came out welcoming. Where is Jungkook? King was standing there while looking outside the. You were asking where is he? His tone was sarcastic. Yes, where is he? I want to meet him. His eyes were spell. Her eyes. King's. He is in an ICU because of you. She shouted. Last words. I never saw someone dumb and mean as are you. What are you doing this to him? What I am doing? He came to save you and your old friend tried to. Why would I want him? He's my husband, she said. Welcome. You want this? I only want to say one thing. Get out of his life. Don't show your face again to him because of you. He suffered from depression because of you. He failed to make the biggest company because of you. He's in an ICU. I believe that if you stay in his life, he will lose his wife. So go away. I don't want to leave him. I regret everything. No, you can't regret it because you are so mean. I believe that you order your friends to kill him. Just tell me one thing. When do you do good to him? You were silent because you don't remember anything because you didn't do good any. You still want to stay with him. I will leave him if this is good for him. I will never come back. Yeah, this is best. But can I meet him last time? He looked at his car and ordered her to guide her. She turned and started following him. She came and saw him. He was in so much pain. It was hard for him to breathe. She sat beside him and grabbed his hand. Why hurt you so much? King is dead. I'm not good for him. I got my command last at it wrong. Now I'm leaving because I think it's good for you. Nobody disturb you. Nobody will cry in front of you. She looked at the gun and he signed her to go out. She nodded and walked out. After changing her clothes, she was walking. She decided not to go to her parents' house. She decided to leave everyone. Where is Why? He looked at her and her sister asked. She left. Do you know where she is? I don't know. She just left while saying she never will come back. Meet anyone in her life again. What? Where is she? Her sister was about to go out, but King grabbed her. Don't go behind her. Let her leave alone. She don't deserve anyone. Her sister came out to find her, but she got him out and hit by a truck.